So today we are going to discuss another method for calculating the share values. It is quite a simpler method. So here we need a multiplier to calculate the value of the shares, right? So the multiplier we use here is the PE ratio, price earning ratio. So in very simple terms, we calculate price earning ratio, and with the help of price earning ratio we calculate the share prices. So the formula for price earning ratio is share price divided by earning per share. So this is the formula for price earning ratio. And if you are given earning per share and PE ratio, you can very easily calculate share price. In case earning per share is not given to you, then you have to calculate it. So let's take an example. For example, the PE ratio, the EPS, earning per share. EPS of a share is rupees 8, and the investor feels that the appropriate PE ratio of the share is 12. Then the share price would be how much? We can just apply the formula, this formula. So the price earning ratio is given to you, that is 12. And earning per share is also given to you, that is 8. So now the share price would be 12 into 8, that is 96 rupees. So today if you want to buy a share with an expectation of PE ratio that is 12, and the earning per share is given to you, that is 8, then you should pay 96 rupees for the share, right? So let us discuss about price earning ratio a little bit more, that what is the meaning of price earning ratio. So um, the major difficulty for analysts using multiply approach to share valuation is the determination of an appropriate price earning ratio, right? So what should be the price earning ratio. So this price earning ratio is basically something which we you know try to understand, and it can vary also, right? So price earning selection of appropriate PE ratio is one of the concern of the shareholder, right? So this is one of the concern of the shareholder, that what should be the price earning ratio. So different approaches may be adopted for the determination of PE ratio. So how do we calculate PE ratio? Different ratios can be applied, different approaches, sorry, not ratios, different approaches can be applied to calculate P ratio. So what approaches can be used to calculate P ratio? It So the major factors which can be considered, the major factors to be considered while calculating PE ratio are as following. So what factors to be considered? Like the first one is, we can consider the growth rate of earning. So the first factor to be considered while calculating PE ratio is growth rate. Of the company, right? Like what is the growth rate? For example, price ratio, in very simple terms we can say that price ratio is ratio of price and earning. If this much price I am paying, then this much should be the earning. So how do I understand? So how do I understand how much I'm going to receive out of it? So the very first thing is, what is the growth rate of the company? How frequently the company is growing in income. So the first factor to be considered is growth rate of the company, then risk factor of the company or the environment also, or environment, right? Then these two things are very very important when we try to understand the PE ratio. I mean, on the basis of these two factors, you basically try to understand what should be the earning of the share, right? Then the higher the expected growth, the higher the expected growth rate, the lower the risk. If the company is promising a very good growth rate, then it means risk would be less, right? And ultimately, the PE ratio would be even higher, right? So ultimately everything depends on the growth rate of the company. If the growth rate of the company is good, it means the risk would be less and the PE ratio would be higher. So how do we, and another way of understanding what would be the PE ratio of the company can be maybe the previous years PE ratio can be a good indicator of future PE ratios. So on the basis of previous PE ratios also, you can calculate you can estimate the future PE ratios, right? So historical data is another good way to calculate PE ratio. Or even if you are not available with the previous data of the company itself, you can also refer the industry, other other companies in the same industry, so you can check their PE ratio. who deal in similar, product line or belong to same capital structure or something like that. So on the basis of other companies also, you can actually try to calculate the PE ratio of the company where you want to invest. So this is the simplest way to calculate, share values. Now, let's do few more questions of share valuation. So let's take another example, not of PE ratio, but general share valuation. So the example is, a share is currently selling for rupees 65. The company is expected to pay a dividend of rupees 2.50 on share at the end of the year. It is reliably estimated that the share will sell for rupees 78 at the end of the year. So this is the information given to you. Current price is 65, dividend in current year is 2.50, and the future selling price would be 78. So this is the information given to us. So what do we have to calculate? First is, assuming that the dividend and price forecast are accurate, would you buy the share and hold it for 1 year? If your required rate of return is 12%. So this is the information. This is the first case. So this is the information given to you that, for example, this is 65 is the current market price. In future, you can sell it at rupees 78, and the company is going to offer you a dividend of 2.50 in current year. Would you like to hold it for 1 year or not? So in very simple terms, we will calculate the present value of its dividend and selling price, right? So S naught equals to dividend D1 into PVIF, because this is a lump sum payment, only 1 year dividend has been paid, Rn plus selling price, right? So S1, we can write it selling price is S1 into PVIF PVIF RN. So here dividend is given to us, that is 2.50. PVIF RN. So here R is the required rate of return, that is 12%, and holding period is 1 year. Similarly, you expect to sell it at rupees 78, and again your required rate of return is 12, and holding period is 1. Now we will just see the values in the table. So PVIF table, 12% 1 year, the value is 0.8929. Zero point 8929. And this value would remain same for here also, because the holding period is just 1 year. We will just calculate it. 2.50 into 0.8929, 2.23, plus 78 into 0.8929, 7.14, no sorry, 78 into 0.8929, 69.64. So the final answer is rupees 71.87. So the intrinsic value of the share is 71.87. Intrinsic value of the share is rupees 71.87, and the market price is 65 rupees, right? So it means the share is available at a cheaper price, right? Market price of the share is rupees 65, which means the share is available at a cheaper price, so the investor can buy the share. So it's a good deal. The investor can buy the share, right? So this is how we have solved the first part. Now we will have another case. So case number 2 says that given that The current market price is the current market given that the current market price is rupees 65 and the expected dividend expected dividend is rupees 2.50, right? And for example, the required rate of return is 15%. Now, in earlier case, the required rate of return was 12%. Here, the required rate of return is 15%, right? So, we need to calculate the selling price of the share at the end of 1 year. Calculate the selling price of the share at the end of 1 year. Okay, so this is the information given to us. Now, what we will do, we'll just apply this formula again. Here. So, S naught, current market price, is already given to you, that is 65. Dividend is already given to you, that is 2.50, right? And PVIF R is 15% and time is 1 year. Then this price is not given to us, right? Now we will just solve it. So 65 equals to 2.50 into, now I will just see the present value table for this. 15% 1 year, %1 year is 0.8696. 0.8696. So this will become 65 minus 2.50 into 0.8696. This is 2.17. 2.17. So now to calculate it, the future value of the share, one thing is we can see the table, but this is a case of, simply 1 year holding period. So in simplest form, what we can do here is we can change it. Instead of looking at the table, we can just change it like this. S1 divided by 1 plus 0.15. This is what we can do. So even if we calculate, we see PVIF table, or we can just divide it, we get the same answers. So here I have converted it a bit so that calculations become easier. For example, the period would be 2 years. So here the power 1 plus 0.15's power would become 2. right? And 3 and 4, whatever the holding period is, it depends completely on the holding period. So 65 minus 2.17 multiplied by 1.15, we get the answer 72.25. 72.25. So this should be your selling price at the end of 1 year. If your required rate, or if you buy the share today at rupees 65 and your required rate of return is 15%, you got the dividend of 2.50, then you should sell it at rupees 72.25. Then only you will earn a return of 15%.